Welcome back to Black Living Room Talk, where we share and explore through conversation, stories, and information. I am your host, TB Waheed. We talk about the concerns that center around Black health, healing, and the systems that challenge our peace. Tonight, I'm diving into a powerful and profoundly moving work from 1970, The Angel Went Sour by Esther P. Rothman. This isn't just a book, it's a testament, a memoir, and a revolutionary guide to education and empathy. It tells the story of the Livingston School for Girls in New York City, a public school for teenagers deemed too troubled, too defiant, or too broken for the mainstream. Now, you might be wondering why I'm discussing a book that's over 50 years old. The answer is simple. Its message is more relevant today than ever. In an era where we are re-evaluating our approaches to mental health, juvenile justice, and trauma-informed care, Dr. Rothman's work feels less like a historical document and more like a roadmap for the future. So let's explore the world she created and the lives she changed. First, it's crucial to understand the woman behind the school. Dr. Esther R. Rothman was not your typical principal, a trained psychologist. She came to the Livingston School with a radical philosophy. She believed that the girls under were not bad, delinquent, or unreachable. Instead, she saw them as victims of circumstances, children who had been failed by their families, their communities, and the very system that was supposed to protect them. Her core belief, the one that gives the book its poignant title, was that every child is born with an angel inside, a core of goodness, potential, and love. For the girls at Livingston, that angel had been battered and bruised by poverty, abuse, and neglect. It had, as she writes, gone sour. Her mission wasn't to punish the sourness away, but to create an environment of such profound safety and acceptance that the angel could be nurtured back to health. This wasn't about ignoring bad behavior, it was about understanding its roots. Yeah. So, what did this school look like? It was a place of last resort, the end of the line for girls who had been expelled from every other school, girls who were pregnant at 13 or 14, ostracized by their families and peers, and girls who were simply drowning in emotional disturbances that no one had bothered to diagnose or treat. The stories Dr. Rothman shares are heartbreaking and infuriating. These weren't bad seeds. These were children who had been let down at every turn. We read about girls who came to school hungry, who slept in violent homes, who had been passed around the foster care system like a piece of unwanted luggage. Their defiance wasn't malice. It was a shield. Their anger wasn't a personality flaw. It was a rational response to an irrational world. They had built impenetrable walls around themselves, simply to survive. Yeah. That's going on right now today. And yet, in the face of this immense pain, Rothman refused to create a prison. The Livingston School had no guards, no locked doors, no barred windows. This was a conscious, deliberate choice. She argued that if you treat children like prisoners, they will act like prisoners. Her primary tools were not discipline and punishment, but love, respect, and unwavering acceptance. She understood that these girls didn't need more rules and restrictions. They needed a sanctuary. They needed one place in their lives where they could finally let their guard down and be seen for who they were. Rothman's methods were, for the time, completely and unorthodox. One of her foundational principles was simply listening. She details countless hours spent just talking with the girls, not as an authority figure dictating terms, but as a compassionate adult who genuinely wanted to understand their world. She validated their anger, their fear, and their pain. She taught them that their feelings were legitimate, a revolutionary concept for a child who has always been told they are too much or too sensitive. The curriculum was another area of radical intervention. Rothman knew that traditional academics often felt irrelevant to girls struggling with immediate survival. So, alongside standard subjects, Livingston offered practical self-esteem building courses. The most famous example from the book is the full-service beauty salon installed right in the school. Here, girls could learn cosmetology, which is a marketable skill that could lead to a real career. But more than that, it taught them about self-care, creativity, and the simple dignity of making oneself and others feel beautiful. It was it was therapy disguised as vocational training. And this is what we need in 2026 in a lot of the urban school districts. These are the things that our students of today need, that are going through some of the things that these girls went through back at this time. And this was like I think this was in the 60s when this book was written. This went beyond just being a sympathetic ear. Rothman practiced what she called unconditional acceptance. This meant that even when a girl acted out, cursed at a teacher, or broke a rule, the underlying message was never "you are bad." Instead, it was "your behavior is not acceptable, but you are still a valuable person and we will work through this together." This was a radical departure from the punitive model, which conflates a person's actions with their inherent worth. Perhaps her most powerful and riskiest tool was trust. She trusted them. In a world that had labeled them untrustworthy, she gave them responsibility. When a fight broke, and they frequently did, her approach wasn't immediate suspension. It was to separate the girls, let them cool down, and then bring them together to talk about what really happened. What was the fear or hurt that was expressed as violence? She treated the behavior as a symptom of a deeper wound, and she focused all her energy on healing the wound, not just punishing the symptom. And this approach worked miracles. Slowly, painstakingly, the book charts the transformations. Girls who arrived sullen, silent, and ready for a fight slowly began to open up. They started to test the boundaries. And when they found acceptance instead of rejection, they started to trust. They transformed friendships. They formed friendships. They discovered talents they never knew they had. They learned to regulate their emotions. That's it. Not through force, but through understanding. They discovered that the angel inside them hadn't died. It was just waiting for a safe harbor to reemerge. So what is the legacy of the angel inside went sour? Today, we have terms like trauma-informed care and restorative justice. Dr. Rothman was practicing these principles 50 years ago, guided by simple, profound empathy. Her book is a powerful critique of a one-size-fits-all education system and a punitive justice system that too often harms the already harmed. It reminds us that behavior is communication and that compassion is a more potent agent of change than fear. Her work is a direct challenge to anyone who would write off a child as a lost cause. Her work reminds us that behind every problem child is a story, and often a tragedy. It challenges us to look beyond labels and statistics and to see the human being who is hurting. The angel inside went sour. It's not an easy read, but it is an essential one. Now, I highly recommend it to any educator, social worker, parent, or anyone who believes in the redemptive power of human connection. So, join me next time as I uncover another book that helped to shape our world. I am so glad that you are here. I am TB Waheed, your host in Black Living Room Talk. Please stay tuned to Black Living Room Talk for more conversation, stories, and information, and many wonderful things to come. Peace, love, and light. Hotel.